Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and everybody in between, and welcome to another episode of Fight Night. I'm your host, Josie, and without further ado, I'm going to bring in my other co-host, Mr. William H.D. Morgan, if you will, baby.
I figure I'll bring it in a little bit early, but if you will, baby, it's the man with the plan, the man from the planet space, the planet called space, damn it. I am here. Let's get this thing started.
And the next man, ladies and gentlemen, this man needs no introduction. He is the one and only Haystacks Calhoun, ladies and gentlemen.
What a beautiful night. Let's get it going. Round one, as they say, kids.
Let's go.
All right. So, first thing I want to start off with is what me and Stacks just finished watching. I don't hate it. I wanted to see Adam win it just because I would love it. I want to win the title. I want to see it. And I'm really happy where the TNT title is right now. It's relevant again, where it wasn't all last year.
Yep.
I'm loving what Christian is doing. He's got one of the better storylines going on in AEW right now. But what do you got going on there, Will? Why are you so big?
I'm trying to fix something. I'm trying to get the best layout. And I think this is it right here.
So, however, I would have loved to see Copeland win that. But gotta say, those two men can still fucking go.
They can go.
Fucking match.
They can go.
They haven't had a match together or a one-on-one match in 13 years, and fucking worth it. Fucking worth it.
Christian going off the top rope, man. Like who would have thunk it, man? He hasn't done that in a hot minute. Those boys can go. I about put it in the chat right before the match started. I said, "What kind of tomfoolery are we gonna get during this match?" And that's exactly what happened there at the end. I didn't think it was gonna be. I didn't think it was gonna be her coming out. But
that's dumb to me. That is the one part I'm like,
yeah, that's petty.
Like
I thought maybe something was gonna happen where he got disqualified, where he actually got disqualified, and then there's no winner. There's no winner at all.
I think I would have rather. I don't know if y'all have heard any of these rumors, and I wanted to talk more about this, but there's a rumor about Nick Wayne's tag team partner. Now I can't remember the kid's last name. Jordan. Shit. I've seen him in MLW before. I thought he might get involved. Because I know Tony Khan has been pushing, or Nick Wayne has been pushing Tony Khan to sign it. But I'm not a fan of non-wrestling personalities being brought in just to move a story along. And she's not a wrestling personality. And I thought the whole thing of having her involved in the last couple of months has been dumb anyway.
She's going to become mommy. Joey.
Yeah. So now her and Christian are going to be the patriarchal power couple.
You already know. And it's going to, that's going to be great.
So leading with this, I actually want to use this match to kind of jump frog into something. We reported last week QT Marshall is leaving AEW at the end of the year. And there's some rumors to the reason why. The big one I'm hearing is Tony Khan is really wanting to place AEW in more of that New Japan light. Less sports entertainment, more true pro wrestling mixed with more of the New Japan style, which I've been saying for months is what AEW really is anyway. More like watching a football game or a basketball game or something like that, because you could have just a random fire-ass match on any given night. However, you are seeing more of a push towards New Japan up front. The Continental Classic is a great example of that. And personally, I don't think it's a bad idea because you're never going to be able to compete with WWE in the sports entertainment realm.
Nope.
And
Hell no.
2,000 tickets for last Saturday's
Collision did not do well.
Collision did not do well.
Well, and that I'm gonna go in more on that here in a second.
Yep,
But
I figured. But yeah.
However, actually, I'll add to that right now. Not doing great in the ratings right now. And as we say on this show every week, ratings are bullshit anymore.
They don't matter.
TV is dying.
Everybody DVRs or watches clips.
Cable
man.
TV
Nobody
is
watches
dying.
that shit live.
Yep.
No.
So
ratings don't mean nothing.
Well, last week Dynamite beat SmackDown.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did.
So ratings just really Nielsen ratings don't hold the weight that they did 10 years ago.
Nope.
However, on the other side of that, their venues, they're not doing near what they were just 6 to 12 months ago.
Somebody brought up, I think it was JD from NY brought up a good point though too. Why are they trying to sell? Why are they in venues that hold 12 to 15,000?
Because at one point they were able to push those numbers.
Correct, but at the same time, like when
I think Tony's scared of kind of the impact thing.
Yep.
You were in those venues, you're pulling those numbers for those venues, and then all of a sudden you're not pulling numbers of the venues, and it looks like a failure if I then have to go back down to 5,000 or so arenas. However,
but at the same time, wouldn't that make it more intimate? Like
it does.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah.
I think what it is in Tony's mind, it seems like a step back. And I do understand that. From a business side, it is a step back. But like you said, if you're not even getting half of those 10,000, 12,000 person arenas, and they still are able to fill those arenas with pay-per-views.
Yeah.
But your regular weekly shows, I think you really need to look at going back to 5,000 person arenas. And again, I get where Tony's kind of not probably wanting to do that because it does look like a step back. But again, you're right, Stacks. It makes for a more intimate show. I still remember some of those 5, 6. I mean, I've been in some of those tiny venues for AEW. They're fucking rabid. They're rabid.
Awesome. They're awesome.
And so I agree with that. However, I do think that being something different in pro wrestling in the United States is not a bad thing. And they are. They're different than any pro wrestling company in the United States because they don't rely so much on storylines. They kind of let their storylines come out of like organically develop, like the Christian thing. That was very organic. It just kind of moved in that direction. The devil with MJF and MJF becoming a face was never supposed to happen. It organically happened because of him and Cole just being so great together on camera. And a lot of people say, well, and a lot of American fans just don't understand the nuance of Japan wrestling and are already shitting on this. But I personally think this is a good route for AEW. However, I do think you're right, Stacks. They need to look at a couple of things and fixing a couple of things. Like, yes, I think for your Dynamites, your Rampages, your Collisions, you need to look at a smaller venue. And also, I do think stories are important, but I don't think they're everything. And I'm a big fan of telling a great story in the ring, a great match story. I did, however. Well, you didn't watch Dynamite, so you didn't see this. Guess who's appearing next week? They're in Dallas. Guess who's going to be on the show?
Who?
Kevin Von Erich and his son.
Wow.
I know. The Von Erichs are returning to motherfucking Dallas. The only good thing Dallas ever did was produce the Von Erichs.
I don't know about all that, but okay.
No, I do know all about all that. Yeah.
Okay, I mean,
Trash.
my girl Athena from Dallas. I'm just saying.
Not actually from Dallas. She's from a suburb of Dallas. Everything from Dallas is trash. Trash.
Damn.
Just look at those Cowboys.
About to say, you just pissed off every Cowboy fan out there on TV.
and the $3 billion that Mark Cuban just got for the Mavericks.
Yeah, $3.5 million. Yeah.
3.5 billion with a B.
Mhm.
Billion when he bought it for like what? 5 million?
Yep.
And he still has total control. What a smart man. What a smart man.
But a couple other things I wanted to discuss and Will, I know you brought up a possible appearance in our little description of AJ Lee and WWE, and I want to talk about that. But you, since we're on AEW first, I'm going to cover that. And you made me think about this. I saw a rumor this week. What do y'all think? We might be seeing Beth Phoenix in an AEW ring.
Not surprised. Not surprised.
I mean,
we saw it in WWE. We saw it in WWE. We're gonna see it here.
Though,
we're gonna see it here too.
I would love to see it because AEW doesn't do a lot of men and women storylines, matches, type like that. I would love Beth just to come in because she would be a fantastic addition to that roster.
My only qualm with Beth Phoenix is I think she made the Hall of Fame too early.
I agree.
That's my only qualm.
Well, and
way too early.
I wanted to talk about this, and I'm going to bring it up because you said it. I totally 100% agree with what Chris Jericho said about the Hall of Fame today. 100%. It's pointless. It doesn't exist. It's just made up in WWE's mind.
It's just another show.
Bullshit.
It's just another show. That's all
I
it is.
Agree. They put her in because they needed a woman. She was retired at the time. It made sense. But even is just not necessarily in ring all the time. Beth would be an amazing coach for those women backstage. And one thing I did want to say,
Lord knows they need it.
The women's division's gotten a lot better than it was 6 months ago. Toni Storm, Sky Blue, Julia Hart. I mean, you're starting to really get some good movement in the women's division.
It's gotten better. I'll give it that. It's gotten better.
But one thing I will say about AEW is they've got to get their talent under control. I don't know what's going on backstage. I'm hearing a lot of shit between Britt Baker not being happy, the Hardys not being happy, just a lot of shit. And like Tony, like he's got to figure out a way to contain that. He's got to.
What else is on the docket, my friend?
Well, I was waiting for Stack's opinion and he had to step away. What else is going on in the AEW world? Sting's final match. Oh, we got to talk about Mr. Flair. That's what we got to talk about. Some Ric Flair and his comment on so he was on Dynamite this past week and did a promo with Sting, pumping up them back in Greensboro for Sting's final match and all that stuff. Well, then he was on Rampage that same night, and it got edited out of the final broadcast, but I heard what he said, and he invited all women 18 to 28 back to his hotel room. No husbands or boyfriends allowed. And
Josh Giddey 2.0.
Don't get me wrong. I respect the fuck out of Flair. He is. We throw in wrestling. We throw the word "goat" around a lot.
Hold up. Joseph, I don't mean to interrupt. Damn it, Stacks. My thing with Josh Giddey real quick, I know it's off topic, but you have to understand something. And I'm not trying to make excuses for the negative. That shit true, that's disgusting. But understand
for sure.
where he come from, the age of consent is 16.
It is.
That motherfucker is in a place in Oklahoma, the age of consent is 16.
She
Then-
had to have a fake ID though.
Then she was in they caught her in the club.
Yeah.
We supposed to be carded at 18, but she was in there. So I ain't trying to make excuses for the man because if he's guilty, he's guilty, and he's a disgusting man. But 100% disgusting.
Yeah.
But if that's all that's all he knows.
Yeah.
That's all he knows.
Can't knock a man from where he comes from. You know?
And now here's the thing: the parents ain't talking about it, but he didn't hire Gloria Allright.
There was a payoff. There was a payoff there, Will.
There's a payoff.
There was a payoff. There was a
payoff. Josh Giddey 2.0.
Anyway, back to this.
At the wrestling.
So Rick made those comments, and some people definitely drug him through the mud a little bit. And again, I respect the fuck out of Flair. We throw the words "goat" around a lot, but I mean, truly, without Rick, wrestling is nowhere near what it is now. Like, Rick is one of those guys that Rick, Sting, Hogan really brought wrestling out of the golden era and made it amazing. But he made a comment.
What's up, Ando? How you doing, man?
He made a comment after that and said, "Look, I don't need this. I don't need the money. I'm here to support my friend Sting." And he basically said, "Tony Khan, if I'm embarrassing your company, I'll walk away." Then Tony basically came out and said what I already knew. They're not paying Rick. Rick's energy drink, Woo Energy, pays AEW for him to be on the programming and pump the drink. They pay them to put those ads on the Titantrons. So, I mean, if you're Tony Khan, that's a win-win in my book. You're getting one of the greatest wrestlers of all time on your screen weekly, and you're getting paid to do it.
Yep. We're going to see him in the ring, right? I think we'll see him in the ring.
I really hope
I don't either, but I think we will see it, Josie. And I honestly think there might be a tag team
he's
match.
got one more bump
There
left.
might be a tag
Rick ain't
team
got no
match.
bumps left, and we all know it. Rick ain't got nothing left. We all know
I
it.
mean, that
man was sucking wind in the last match.
The match that he did with Andrade and Lethal and Jarrett, what was that, March of this year?
Yeah.
He barely made it through it. He barely made it through it.
I know.
I don't know. I don't know if he could do another match. However, does he take another bump or two? I think so. Yes.
That man needs to stop.
I don't see him doing a full-on match. Maybe a tag match where he only has to pull like a Cena, jump in for a few minutes.
I was gonna say, what if they put a time limit on it? You know what I mean? Like they always do.
Maybe do like Cena did with what's his name earlier this year? I can't think of who it was.
How sad is that? We're comparing Cena and Flair right now. How sad is that? I mean, I'm just saying how far we've come, how far the mighty have fallen. We're comparing the two, but granted, he's not in it like he used to be, like we always say. But that's just, it's crazy to think about, man. The longevity there was off the charts there for the longest time.
And then, Rick does need to understand that this is not the 70s and the 80s. He can't be saying shit like that on a live mic.
Old boy reminds me of John Wooden sometimes. Sorry to cut you off there. He couldn't even figure out who plays in the Greensboro Coliseum. Is it the ACC or the SEC?
Oh, my God.
Rick has no clue.
He's so old.
Rick says, whoever plays in that arena, we're going to pack that house.
Well, and also, Rick still is a heavy alcoholic. he'd probably drunk all the time.
Yeah.
So honestly, I'm surprised Rick's still alive.
Oh, for sure. I think we've said that on the show before, but yeah, I mean, I'm surprised he didn't die like 10 years ago.
Well, and remember, what was that, 3-4 years ago, Will, that he had the really bad health scare and almost did die?
Yeah, I was going to say. Yeah, he almost did die.
And then according to Hogan, who you have to take with a grain of salt.
Huge grain of salt.
Huge grain of salt. He said Rick asked for when Rick came out of it, he asked for a beer.
Rick is a functioning alcoholic. I guarantee you he's the type of dude that probably wakes up and has to put 4 shots of whiskey in his morning coffee because he's shaking so bad. Because I just don't believe, because that man, he is the epitome of becoming the gimmick. And he 100% did. Because, again, as we've said, kayfabe doesn't really exist in the way it did back in the day. But back in the day, Rick 100% became the limousine riding, jet flying, wheeling and dealing, son of a gun. Woo!
Yes, he did.
And he's lived that his entire life. And I wouldn't want it any other way, because, like I said, he will go down to one of the greatest to ever do it. But just become a manager. Get your manager license.
For real.
You're still good on the mic when you're coherent. You're pretty good on the mic still.
Well,
just don't
when
ask
Charlotte
him to
comes
do any
over,
geography.
I can see him doing that one more time too. Yeah, don't do that. When Charlotte comes over, I can see him giving it one last run with her one more time.
Charlotte's not coming over to AEW. That's not happening.
I wouldn't say that.
I don't see it happening. That. She's too protected in WWE. She knows it too. She knows in WWE she's already a future Hall of Famer. They're gonna get her title reigns to pass her dad.
Well, that's fair, but I could see her going over there just because Andrade, don't you?
Yeah, I would see Andrade. I would see Andrade more going back than.
You think you got? Yeah, that's fair.
His deal is probably about, if not more.
I was gonna say it's got to be close. Yeah, it's got to be close.
And honestly, I was excited when he came back this last time. I thought they were finally going to push him.
I've been underwhelmed by him.
Yeah, and
but it's not.
When they paired him with C.J. Perry, that was going to be an interesting thing, and I've been underwhelmed by that.
Yep.
And I just,
it's not his fault. It's the booking, because he can go.
Oh yeah. Well, and why is Andrade is in the Continental Classic? Yes.
Correct.
Yeah, he just got his first 3 points this week. So I mean, there is that.
Yeah.
I don't see Charlotte in AEW. I don't see it.
I like to see him and Daniel Bryan at the end in the Blue League. I'd like to see that.
I think Swerve has 9 points as of now. Lethal has 6 points. Moxley has 9.
Yep.
Or not Lethal, White.
White does. White.
Lethal, Briscoe are both to the point now they can't win.
Man, they put on a banger though. Briscoe did.
That every match that Briscoe has had in the Continental
has been a banger.
Has been a banger. I want to see more.
I thought maybe they give him
my
a
fucking
draw.
TV.
I thought maybe they give him a draw. I did.
I really do want to see more of Mark Briscoe on my fucking TV. Like, I would love to see him as the international champion, the TNT champion,
TNT championship, especially.
He said he will never tag again, traditional tag. So that's not an option. But I would love to see him hold some singles gold, even if it's just the ROH World Title.
Yeah, doesn't matter. like you said, put him more on my TV because
I love when he's on the mic.
He's proven to me a little bit too. I haven't watched a ton of him before this, so I mean,
he's hilarious on the mic.
He's been awesome.
Hilarious.
Yeah, he's good. He's good.
Great on the mic. Great words. Can go in the ring, and just he's got a personality. He's got and the great thing about Mark is it's 100% just who he is. Also in the Continental Classic, like anyone in the Continental Classic just underwhelmed you so far? Been like,
I hate to say it because I feel like I'm always throwing him under the bus, but I mean, Claudio, what are we doing?
Personally, I don't think he should have been in it, but that's
I agree. Yeah, I mean, I agree. So in that case, underwhelmed. But I mean, it's just I don't know, man. For a while there, I thought it was WWE. I did. I thought it was WWE for the longest time.
He's
but boy, you get him over here. No, he's not.
Without the hype machine, he's not the same.
Well, and I don't know I want to like him. I do. I want to enjoy him so bad, and I just don't have the pull to him like I did back when he was doing the Cesaro section. I
agree.
Mine is
and would it be Brody? Would it be Brody King? I don't know. I don't know how. I don't know how
9 points.
I know that, but I don't know how I feel about it though. I know where he's at. I know where he's at, but I don't know.
I like Brody.
But then again, you look at the blue, it makes sense though.
I like Brody. I think he's a hell of a hand. Again, just another one of those guys that doesn't need to talk a lot. He's just to beat you in the mouth. I'll tell you who my pick is for most underwhelming, and this hurts me to say because I want to see this kid do more. Danny Garcia.
Yeah. But do you think that's all his fault, though?
No, I think he's been badly booked. And then I don't think this is one of the issues.
Like him.
This is one of the issues I actually have with Tony Khan, and that is I don't think Tony thinks far enough ahead. So they broke up the Jericho Appreciation Society, but then really had
to do what?
They did nothing.
To do what?
They've done nothing with any of the members.
Yeah. To do what? Yeah.
They've done nothing as individuals.
No. I was really excited to get some more daddy magic. Making my nipples hard on TV.
But at the same time, with some of those guys, did you expect much more? I mean, outside of Danny Garcia, I mean, what do you expect without Jericho there, though?
Danny Garcia.
Danny for sure.
Daddy Magic Matt Menard. And those are the two really, other than Sammy Guevara, who I don't really include because he was already.
I was gonna say I don't include him in that.
Those are the only two from the entire group that I'm just like, they have potential. I'm not a fan of Cool Hand. No. Like him and Daddy Magic together are a pretty good tag team, but personally, Daddy Magic just reminds me so much of just the old school. He reminds me a lot of Macho Man.
Yeah, that's fair. That's a fair comparison.
But
but it's like, what can he do when they throw him on Rampage every week? Like,
right.
I mean,
yeah. So AEW is definitely in probably, mind you, we're coming into the 5 year. Every company at 5 years is going to start to have a little bit of struggle. Like now, mind you, I am very concerned if WWE signs a deal with Warner Brothers for Discovery.
That thing over.
Yeah, AEW.
Yeah, it's a wrap.
It's a wrap.
No, the company won't shut down. No. That won't happen. Tony will get another TV deal somewhere. But yeah, they lose TNT TBS. It's definitely going to hurt them.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I was going to say, where are they going to? I mean, where would you go? That's my thing. I mean, where are you going to go? That's going to fight that amount of.
Oh, no. I think the same places that are fighting for
Did you say Spike,
WWE,
Will?
I think the same places that are fighting for WWE would offer AEW a home. Now they're not going to get the money that they probably would have gotten with Warner Brothers, but I think Disney, FX, ESPN, all of those would still be interested in having that product.
ESPN to do wrestling again.
They're trying to get WWE. They're in the running for WWE.
But I think, but because they didn't finish things up with AWA strong back in the day, so I don't know.
Oh, they are in the bidding.
I just see that being the audience for that.
Yeah, I don't see it either. And they're in the running for it. That's fine, but you're losing subscribers left and right. I mean, go back and look at their numbers. They're losing between the cable services and trying to do online. They're losing numbers left and right. And I don't think WWE will be enough to save it.
No. Pat McAfee's the only thing holding that alive right now.
I mean, Pat McAfee's holding it alive.
He's the best thing that
he's holding it alive right now.
And to a lesser extent,
and since we're going to talk about that real quick, fuck ESPN, FSU got screwed.
Oh, yeah, they did. They really did. But between Pat McAfee and Stephen A. Smith, that's only two people holding it.
Yep.
And like I say, I don't think WWE be enough to save it because they're losing cable deals left and right.
You got to give Uncle Shay Shay some credit too.
Well, he just got there, but
that's fair. You knew they weren't leaving out an SEC team. I don't care what anybody said. Not that I don't disagree. Not that I don't disagree. Not that I don't let that happen.
Now here's the thing. Florida, there's a rumor out there saying Florida State's going to boycott it.
They should. So I heard the whole way that they could do this.
If you boycott the game, that would be so. That'd be so interesting because that's
I heard a whole scenario drawn out for this.
Yeah, me too.
So they go down. Mm-hmm. They do all the practices. They get all the gifts, the money. Let the kids hang out in South Beach for a week. Do all of it. Show up to the game, dress out, walk out.
That'd be amazing.
And
then
I would just.
What a straight middle finger that would be.
Oh wait, we're not going to play because the games don't matter. And there you go.
And Stacks, that's my thing. Is this? And I've had this argument with my own father. Football is not figure skating. All three of us here have played football on some level before. And you were taught from a very young age that what matters is wins.
Yep.
These kids have won. And it also goes back to the argument, they don't have the same quarterback. They're not. Bull fucking shit. That don't matter.
Look at Bama. Look at Bama.
That happened to Ohio State.
One with Tua.
That happened to Ohio State.
And
Ohio State won a national championship.
Yeah, Ohio State, the same thing happened to them. Ohio State didn't have their championship, didn't have their quarterback. They started a third string quarterback won a national title.
Yeah. And we'll get back to wrestling, but I did want to
rant bullshit
for just a second because
it's that SEC tie-in, man. It is.
It's that
propaganda.
It's actually twofold.
It's the problem.
I think it's the SEC tie-in.
It is.
I think it's also the committee wanted to avoid the Georgia TCU game that they got last year.
That too. That's been rumored too. But my thing is this.
But I think FSU would have been more of a battle for Michigan than what people are thinking.
But my thing is, if Alabama go in there and get crushed by Michigan, what's the point?
I want to see it. I hope Michigan.
I'm going Alabama smacks.
Understand this. This is a team that lost to Texas. This is a team that almost lost to Auburn. You mean to tell me Michigan?
An Auburn team that had just gotten stomped by New Mexico. Gotten stomped by New Mexico, and they barely beat them.
So
Big Ten's weak though. Big Ten's not that great.
So if you have Bama in, they get in, they're in now, and they lose to Michigan, what was the whole point? And then if Georgia loses to FSU. Look, the SEC was 7-9 against non-conference teams. They were having a down year.
This was one of the weakest SEC years that we've seen in recent memory.
That's fair. That's fair.
It's all about this.
It is.
That's all
It
it's
is.
about.
That's
And
all
that's
it's
what
about.
makes me so mad is they did it because they want the money. And that's why I would love FSU to do exactly what I just said, because ESPN would have to scramble for programming. They'd have to give all that money back that they sold for advertising. I would love it. I would enjoy every second of it.
Ron DeSantis is looking for legal action too. That's
Yeah,
another rumor.
me and Ron DeSantis actually agree on something. Holy shit, hell's frozen over. All right, moving to WWE because we only got a few more minutes because I'm wanting to get to bed too. I saw your message, Will. I was like, yeah, that's not going to be a problem. Will knows, Stacks, I'm going to show you and show all of our fans here. One of my favorite shirts got ripped off my body today by one of my students.
Oh. Uh-oh. Rough time.
And scratched up my chest.
Uh-oh.
And so, yeah, I'm not in the greatest of moods, but got to come here and talk some wrestling. So, Will, you brought up in our description CM Punk. AJ, there's some rumor that AJ Lee might be signing, and we might see some CM Punk AJ Lee versus Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch.
Let's go. I'm all for it. Let's go.
Why?
Let's go.
It's a family affair, baby.
It's family.
Everybody gets.
All we got to do is go get Vin Diesel, and that's it. We just need the Vin Diesel, and that's it. Family. Josie, you ain't got to worry about nothing because you family.
I don't want to see it.
Let's go. Family.
Why not? What else are they doing in the women's division?
What else you doing in the women's
division? That I just don't care. I just don't care.
Well, that's fair, but it'd be good for pay-per-view, though. It would be.
And everybody want to see AJ come back.
It would be.
I don't want to see AJ come back to WWE. I don't. I
actually liked AJ. I don't have a problem with AJ.
I like AJ.
No, I love her, and I think she's super talented. But I think she should look. I think she would be better suited for something like NWA, AEW. Just
Nah. We need her back in WWE. No AEW. No, because
both parties came in for a money grab.
No AEW. Both parties come in for a money grab. Let it get their money. Everybody want to see AJ anyway, so let it get their money, man. It's all about family.
I personally,
listen, Josie. Listen, you can put it in the steel cage. Let's go.
I don't think AJ comes back. She's said multiple times she has no interest in stepping back into a ring.
Listen, she'll do it for her husband. She'll do it for Punk, and she'll do it for that check. You know, he'll back up the Brinks truck to bring her ass back.
You already know Punk will. So
you already know Punk will.
You already know Punk will do it.
It's family, man.
Come on, honey. This is part of the retirement fund.
Part of the retirement package
come
right
on,
here.
Come on back, honey.
Generational wealth is right now. I'm telling you, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
Against Rhea. I would love to see that. Put her against Rhea Ripley. For real.
Then I don't think she should stay. She should just come back for this match, and that's it.
I'm just saying. I'd love to see her against
Bring
Rhea.
on back.
In a singles, though, we haven't really talked about this. Who do y'all see Punk facing first? It's not going to be Rollins right off the bat. They're going to save that. That needs to be Mania.
You saving that?
That needs to be Mania. That's your night one main event, and Cody and Roman is night two. So we can tell they're already building Royal Rumble because WWE doesn't have a pay-per-view this month. Their next PLE is Rumble.
You might as well go and get. Oh, and I disagree. You might as well just go and give Punk the main event right now. You might as well just give him night two and get it over with.
Yeah,
whichever. To me, that doesn't matter. Night one, night two. I don't.
Give him one of them. Give him one of them and a box of ice cream bars. That way we ain't got his ass no more.
I finally got him. Can you imagine the promo?
But remember, Will, last year, night one was better than night two.
Baby ass bitch.
Oh, crybaby ass.
Remember last year, Will, night one was better than night two.
That's true, but I'm just saying he ain't gonna be there. He's only gonna be there but so long, and you know that's what he wants.
Yeah,
he signed a 3-year deal.
He ain't gonna start. He ain't gonna be there all 3.
Shit, he's only seeing a year of that.
You only see it a year.
Maybe 2. Maybe
Yeah.
2.
Go
I
and get it to him.
still say 6 months. I
Go
still
and get it
say
to him
Well,
real
that
quick.
too. Well, that too.
I
Oh,
think
yeah,
he gets
no,
through
too.
Mania, and then the real Punk comes out.
Go and give him
I
that
was
main
gonna
event
say,
real
how long
quick.
is it
Get
gonna,
him.
we should all take bets because I don't disagree, Josie. I think eventually he's gonna find his way out.
That's why I said in the
won't be the
chat.
same.
He's gonna be there
I
6
read
months.
It won't be
something.
the same
That's
as
why I
it,
said in the chat. He's gonna be there 6 months to a year. That's it.
I read something in the this week that there's supposedly a behavior clause in his contract.
Damn. Yeah. I believe that. You motherfuckers go and give him his match at Mania this year. Go and give it to him. And a box of ice cream bars and let him roll.
Because he's a child.
Because he a punk bitch.
But okay, so who do y'all see as Punk's first match?
Is AJ Styles healthy?
I don't think so. I haven't seen him on TV.
I think he's hurt still.
Okay.
I was
gonna say I wouldn't hate that. I wouldn't hate that.
Punk versus Orton. Give me Punk versus.
That's what I was gonna say. But is he on SmackDown? Is that confirmed?
They haven't
or no?
confirmed. They haven't
They
said.
haven't confirmed. That's
brand
why
split
it
doesn't exist anymore.
Well, true. Yeah. What the hell am I talking about? Yeah. Yeah. That was gonna be my first pick. I say yeah. Give me Orton.
Man,
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
This Orton is like 09 Orton, Will.
I was gonna say this Orton return. This is gonna be dangerous. This is gonna be dangerous.
He went out there with Rhea, boy.
They're building him up for a run,
that,
boy. It's gonna be amazing.
Well, you can really tell from Randy that he's putting all into this. This is probably going to be his last
This
run.
is it.
His last hurrah.
And he's putting all into it. And I mean, he stunnered Jay.
Grabbing boobies and all, baby. Let's go.
So, yeah, I would love to see Punk versus Orton. I think that would be a fantastic match. Fantastic.
Can we guess real quick?
Storyline behind that.
Yeah, what would be the storyline behind that?
Well, I'm sure you can go back.
It's WWE. Oh, you little baby back. I mean, it could be somewhat similar to the.
I'm sure you can go back to.
Yeah, they'll find something.
They'll find something.
The vault. Go back to the vault.
Or Punk left.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll find something.
They'll find something.
Oh, you screwed me. You put all this on you, and I didn't get any spotlight.
How about Punk Cena?
Fuck yourself.
How about Punk Cena?
Ooh. Oh, I would pay. Oh, I would.
You revive that.
Watch that. 100%.
You revive
Even if they put that man in the ring for 15 minutes. Yeah, them two on the mic. Oh, those promos would be sick.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yes,
I'd
please.
be okay with that.
Yes, please.
Or I've heard rumor that they're trying to make Punk Austin happen because they'd been pushing that before he left the first time. Personally, I don't want to see that.
I was gonna say I don't know if I want to see that, man.
Austin's match last year, I was just like, he's done.
Yeah,
he's
for sure.
Is there anything else, boys, before we bounce out of here? To bounce back real quick, Stacks, you had brought up, is Wardlow the Baron Corbin of AEW? I think Baron Corbin is winning the NXT title this weekend. I would put money on it. I think he's beating Dragunov for the NXT title this weekend. That's
my golf clap. It's my golf clap. Congratulations to that, man.
Stacks is at the cup. Stacks is at. He's 18 foot.
However, I think Wardlow's issue is very similar.
Yeah.
Hashtag free AJ.
Yeah.
His injury. Wardlow's injury hurt him.
It did.
It really did. When you look at it, at the end of the day, it did.
And then the hot potato of the team, him being involved with that hot potato TNT championship.
Yeah. Booking hurt him 100%. Yep. He's not legitimate anymore.
You have to look again. This goes back to what we were saying. You have to look at AEW a little differently. You have to look at it as there's so many titles and they move around and like it's a lot like New Japan. It's a lot like New Japan.
Man, Jay Lethal can't get a win in this tournament. Can we have just a smidge of some unpredictability?
He's gonna end up
Just a
fighting. He's
smidge.
gonna end up fighting Mark at some point. So one of them will get a win.
I know, but I'm just saying, just a smidge of unpredictability. A smidge. Just a tiny little bit.
I don't know. Jay Lethal is one that I would not have put in this tournament. He just doesn't.
He don't fit.
Who else you gonna put in there though? You're running
I
out
would
of
have
people.
loved to
You
see
don't put him
Keith
in there?
Lee. I wish
Ricky
Keith Lee was
Starks.
in. Ricky Starks, Big Bill even would have been.
Yeah, but did they do that because they knew they wouldn't put it on him because
they're tag team champions.
because they're tag teams?
I think.
But I
Keith
agree.
Lee-
I would 100% rather see him in there.
I think
100%.
Keith Lee with his stuff.
Yeah, what are they?
I
You
really,
want to talk about
really.
another man? Oh.
Well, and they're building him back. I don't know if y'all have watched Rampage lately. They
Yeah, I
really
watched a
are
little.
trying to revitalize that man. But I think what would really revitalize that man is we need the payoff. We need Keith Lee versus Swerve.
Yeah, we do.
Real quick, shout out to my boy Swerve Strickland. Was at the Bengals Jaguars game watching the Bengals take that beating, and his song played, and he's over there on the sidelines doing the na-na.
Will's like, I ain't got time for that shit.
I love it.
I do too. I love it. I love that man.
Swerve when I drive, and I swerve when I drive. And man,
amazing.
Will, you gotta admit, Swerve Strickland is
on,
one
Will,
of the
that's a little
few
bit more
guys
original compared
who
to those
has
guys.
He's improved. I said that last week.
like
Well, I was just saying the
exponentially,
gimmick.
as I would say, probably went beyond what WWE.
He took
could
a
have
huge
done.
jump.
Like
He's
this year,
top five
Swerve
this
Strickland
year.
is
He's
a
top
world
five.
champion.
Yeah,
This
he
is
took
top
he
five.
took a huge leap, a huge jump.
He's top 5.
2024.
He could
Swerve
be world
Strickland, AEW world champion.
He
I
could
think
be.
he takes it off MJF.
And personally,
great for
this
me.
is just my plea.
I'm sick of MJF.
I'm not.
I'm
not.
sick of MJF. I'm sick of him being champion.
I'm loving this
I'm
storyline.
loving this.
If you put it on Swerve,
storyline.
If you put it on Swerve, it's something new. The fans
agree.
get
But
and
the
the
guy
fans
to
get
take
behind
it
it.
off MJF is going to be Cole. The guy
Yeah,
to take it
that's
off.
fair.
I can see that.
That's fair.
But however, Will, this is what I will say. I think AEW in 2024, I'm not saying make the world title hot potato like you did the TNT, but it does need to move around a little bit more. They've had a lot of these year-long, 9-month, 10-month,
6 months.
Still and stagnant. I'm telling you.
long title reigns.
Still and stagnant.
I think you need to have a few 3-month
I agree.
title reigns.
I agree.
I think you need to start growing your list of AEW world champions.
I agree.
And that's something that I think they really need to look at in 2024. Because I could see give Swerve 3 to 6 months with the belt.
Jay White.
Definitely.
Jay
Samoa
White.
Joe, definitely.
Yes.
Yes.
Especially before he hangs it up, no doubt.
Yeah, Samoa needs to have that belt around his
Samoa
side
needs
before he puts
he
it down.
does. He does. 1,000%.
And there's a few of those guys. Cole, definitely 3 to 6 month run. I would love to see it. There's several guys on the roster that could benefit from a shorter run. And don't get me wrong, I understand they've been trying to build the legitimacy of this title, and that's why we've had so long runs. But Will's right. Almost every AEW title reign has gotten stale or stagnant.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's too long. I would say the only one that didn't was Mox.
Yeah. But that because Mox was new to the company.
Yeah.
No, Mox was new. The title was new.
Mm-hmm.
He was only the second champion after Jericho.
Yeah, after Jericho.
And
Punks was decent. Short.
You can't count Punks. He never had a. He never held it for more than a day.
I'm just kidding.
I'm telling you what y'all need to do now. I'm telling you.
What's that?
I'm telling you. Go ahead. Just go and give him his Mania date. Give him his Mania.
Yeah.
Give him his ice cream, a box of ice cream bars, and then ride out. I'm telling you.
Boy, Cody, he's got to feel so fucking butthurt.
He does.
He's got to feel so fucking butthurt.
This man's taking my thunder. Is what he's probably thinking.
This transaction.
Does anybody else think Cody's now at this point only got
He's
two
a
more
flop.
years,
Motherfucker's
2 more years left on his deal? He's got 2 more. Does anybody else think he finishes this out and goes back to AEW?
Yeah.
I do.
I do.
I think this is what Cody was talking about a couple of years ago when he said, I'm about to do something that's never been done. He's going to leave the company, go become their world champion, drop the world championship, leave and go back to AEW, and then become their world champion.
Or he might pull a Alundra Blaze.
Ooh.
Just don't get the belt back.
Ooh. I don't see that happening in today's
That would be funny as hell. Alundra Blaze from back in the day. You remember when she got fired from WWE and she never gave the belt back. So she went and debuted
on WCW
and threw the belt in the trash can.
Picked up a trash can.
That's amazing.
It's on YouTube. That shit funny as hell. And it's like she's out there with Kevin Nash and them.
That's things that will never happen again.
Anymore.
Man, if Cody did it though, if Cody did it, that
would be good though.
Given
the whole story and how everything happened to get him to get AEW to its that'd be.
But Josie brings up a good point because if he does do that, it burns his last bridge with the E. But it'll still be funny as hell.
I don't think he cares about burning a bridge. My thing.
I don't know if he'll be that relevant when he goes back.
He might not be. He might not be. Yeah. This is true.
What'd you say?
He might not be that relevant.
He may not. I mean, they still mention him a lot on AEW. MJF mentions him almost once a week.
I mean, it's like if you want to put if you were serious about putting the world championship on him, you would have done it by now.
He's gonna beat Roman.
They should already done it.
Everybody knows he's gonna beat Roman at 40.
They should have done it already anyway.
Yep, should have done it already. Got it out the way.
Roman is pretty much done with pro wrestling after WrestleMania 40.
You don't think Punk? You don't think it'll be Punk?
No, I think Punk beats Rollins. No,
I don't think he beats Roman.
I think
Punk's back now. I'm telling you.
He politicking.
I'm telling you.
He politicking for that payday and them ice cream bars. He politicking.
He knows where the money is.
Yeah, he knows.
But they want WWE wants another strong person to hold that heavyweight title to keep pushing it up. Punk would be a good choice for that. You can't, even though you've done too much build between the Roman Cody thing to drop it now. Like Roman and Cody will be one of the main events. Like, I have no doubt in my mind.
I'd probably fall asleep during that match.
How are we feeling? Real quick, we need to be getting out of here, but I got one question. Absolutely. How are we feeling about heel Drew? I'm not a fan.
I don't know.
I'm not a fan of Drew, period.
Will's a hater. He's drinking that haterade.
I'm not a fan of Drew, period.
But
I just think he's boring.
I don't know if it's doing anything for him.
I just think he's boring.
It's not.
I tend to agree with Will. I think he's kind of boring.
He can barely cut a promo. Barely. He's just a big dude that Vince McMahon drools all over. That's all he is.
That match. I watched a little bit of the match he had with Sami Zayn on Monday, and Sami carried that fucking match.
The only time that they should have capitalized on him was when they were over there.
And go back when he was champion. And go back to when he was champion. You could hear a pin drop when that man was champion.
Who's also COVID, but okay.
I'm just saying. He didn't help your cause.
That is fair, Will. It was.
But he didn't help your cause. COVID or not, he didn't help you. He didn't draw people. He didn't draw anybody for TV numbers.
Well, yeah, but what were TV numbers then, though? Too.
This is true. But that's still, he wasn't a person. He wasn't the guy to me. He was just a title holder. That's all he was. He was a placeholder. He's never been that great in the ring. He's not great on a mic.
When
And
they
he's
had
born-
him,
And he's born as a
WWE should have pulled a Tony
personality.
Khan. WWE should have pulled a Tony Khan when they were over there for that pay-per-view. You should have gave him the belt then. Short little run and been done.
Be done with him. That's it. Be done.
And they didn't do it because
You can release his ass, but you can release him for all I care. He doesn't benefit you at all. He's just another big dude on the card. You can put him against another big dude and let him go at it. That's it. You can let Drew McIntyre versus Gunther. Okay.
Yeah.
You can make that work.
Yeah.
But if you want to put him in a classic big man, small man, let's say like Taker did with AJ, it ain't gonna work.
No, it don't work.
It don't work.
Even in the Monday match, Sammy versus Drew, like I don't know. I was rooting for Sammy. I love me some Sami Zayn.
I mean,
and that's another one where they shit the bed.
I just don't get what people see in him. There's no wow factor. There's no pizzazz. Not so much as going to get the brass ring, like people say, but there's no excitement to Drew. There's nothing that make you go, ooh, I gotta watch.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's laundry or watching Drew, I'd rather do laundry. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing out there that makes Drew stand out. And that's what you have to be eventually at some point. This being a big dude at some point is not going to be enough. And Drew is at that point right now to where it's not enough.
Yep.
And none of us are stupid. None of us wrestling fans are stupid. We know when somebody's being carried in a match.
And you can't tell me there's not somebody in NXT right now that you could bring up and do a heel move with instead of him.
Braun Breaker.
Yep.
That's what I was gonna say. Braun Breaker. Why isn't Braun Breaker in this spot? Why do we have McIntyre?
But all right, guys. Well, that is going to do it for this episode of Fight Night. Just real quick, we have 2 more episodes before we take our Christmas break, and then we will be back.
Yes, they did.
Yes, they did.
Thank you for joining us, Joe. We appreciate you, brother.
Thanks, Joe. SEC and ESPN are in bed and they have sex every single night. You already know.
Paul Fireball, one of their babies.
Here's real quick. If Georgia beat Bama, does FSU?
We're not even having this discussion.
Georgia's in. Yeah.
See, I've actually heard opposite. I've heard if Georgia beat Bama, Georgia would not have gotten in. They'd have had an easier time putting FSU in.
But
they both would have been in at that point.
Georgia and FSU were both in. It's a non-argument.
Who doesn't get in?
If
Alabama would have lost to Auburn, it's a non-argument.
They put Bama in not only because they beat Georgia, but because they wanted because of the Texas game. I think.
So
even though they lost,
if Georgia beats Bama, so it would have been Georgia and FSU taking the spot of Bama and Texas.
No, it would have been Georgia, Michigan, Washington, and then FSU.
Yep.
Don't forget Washington.
Yeah.
So they'd have been taking the spot of Bama and Texas.
It would have been taking the spot of Bama. Yeah.
Bama.
And I don't know if Bama would have, because that means if Georgia wins, I don't know. That means they beat Bama. I don't think you could put Bama at 6 because at that point, Bama's got 2 losses.
Yeah, no, I don't. I think agree with you. I think if Bama has 2 losses, they're barely top 10.
It's 5-6. Yeah,
they're more like 8-9 to me, but whatever. But yeah.
All right, boys. Well, that is going to do it for another episode of Fight Night. We will be back next week. Like I said, we have 2 more weeks till we take our winter break. And we will probably be back on December 30th with me and Stacks doing a watch party for World's End.
Watch party.
Will it be here?
Oh, you're gonna join us for that one, Will?
Will it be here?
When we drive.
So,
I gotta be here.
Following the finals of the Continental Classic. So
gotta be.
Yeah.
Well, that one we can do.
I better see some unpredictability.
Yeah, true.
I better see some unpredictability, man. Just a smidge. Just a smidge, just
Just a
enough for me to be
smidge.
like, ooh.
I'm ready for Dolph. I'm ready to see
I am
some
too.
Dolph.
I am too.
And I think his non-compete is up like this week.
I'm so ready for Dolph. Actually, not even, could you
There's
imagine if he
a
was
few
in
free
this?
agents.
Could you imagine if he was in this?
There was a few free agents I would love to see in AEW. Dolph, Sammy Callahan is now a free agent that I would love to see.
Dude, oh, give me Sammy Callahan all fucking day, dude. All day.
So, all right,
Could you
boys.
imagine him and Samoa Joe or something?
Will, take
That'd be
Seth.
cool. That would be cool. I
Let's
like that.
go. That'd be
All right,
cool.
you guys.
Adios.
Laters. Have a good night.
Roll Tide.
Hell no.